Welcome everybody to Currumbin here on the Gold Coast. It's Brendan from Bar TV Sports joining you for the opening round here on the Gold Coast. We're very lucky to be having a bit of a break in the weather. We've probably had close to 100 mil drop in the last 24 hours. A couple of grounds are without power, but facilities are looking fantastic here at Currumbin. And we're very excited about the 2019 season, especially for Bar TV Sports, coming all the way up here to the Gold Coast, continuing to make our way further and further north as we go each year. I'm very lucky to be joined in the commentary box with the Currumbin Eagles president. I'm joined by Pat. Thanks for being with us, Pat.
My pleasure, Brendan.
Look, like I said, we've had a couple of power issues just very close by at Tugan, but you guys have been pretty lucky here. Facilities look great, ground's looking fantastic, and there's a bit of a break in the weather, so it should be a good game.
It should be. Actually, the ground is probably looking the best I've seen it in the 10 years I've been involved with the club. A lot of work was done in the off-season by Gold Coast Council, and the amount of rain we had over the last 2 days, any other year, we wouldn't have been playing today.
Yeah, fantastic. Well, that's what I was hoping, that we'd get the game going ahead, seeing how this was our match of the round. As you can probably, I'm not sure where the camera's pointing at right now, but I'm pretty sure you can see on the far side of the field a brand new box being built over there for the timekeepers and the executives of the club like yourself. What's it like to have that facility over there?
It's actually been a bit of a godsend. We were fortunate enough to get a grant last year to assist in building that. We've got a first aid facility on the bottom level. It's still to be fitted out inside, but we're getting there, and we do our game day operations now from up top.
Yeah, well, it's a great view. Of course, we here in the commentary box on the, I'm assuming it's eastern side of the field. I'm not even sure.
I couldn't even tell you. Actually, well, it's got to be. The sun usually sets behind us, so yes, it must be.
There you go. No, I'm still getting my geography worked out here up on the Gold Coast. But no, we're in a fantastic spot ourselves. We've got a good view of the entire field, and our cameraman is in a great position right up high out of the rain, which is always fantastic for our Bar TV guys. Look, the Currumbin Eagles had a good. Currumbin Eagles had a good win in reserve grade, 16-0. Good start.
Yeah, good start to the season. The boys have sort of, I guess.
Apologies for that. Looks like we had a bit of a lightning strike or something.
I'm not sure what happened.
I think we're back on and good again. No, starting up again. All right. So apologies for the technical difficulties. Always is a bit of a strange one to start at week one. But no, I was just saying you had a good win there for the reserve grade side. I guess continuing on a successful 2018, having a good start now.
It was a great year for the reserve grade, or actually great year for the club last year with becoming minor premiers in all three grades. But certainly the reserve grade making it through the grand final. Unfortunately, we didn't take out the main prize grand final day, but they've started this year where they left off with a gutsy win over a pretty strong Helensvale side. Yeah,
especially to keep them to 0. Must be a pretty proud effort for the coaching staff. It makes all that hard.
I was actually just having a chat with the coach, Paul Wetherell, and that was the biggest thing he got out of that game was the fact that we kept the opposition to 0 points.
Fantastic. Well, I think we're not far away from start. I know that we've gone a little early with the stream, but we definitely wanted to catch up with you. And of course, we're not going to have you the whole match, Pat, but no doubt I think we've got a couple of guests coming up, so it's going to be a bit of a rotating commentary box with Scott Dunshey from Rugby League Gold Coast coming up and giving his thoughts on some of the antics that have gone on in the off-season and some of the positives that we're looking towards this year. So definitely thanks for all your time. I thought it might be a good opportunity to give a couple of shout-outs to your sponsors in particular.
No, I appreciate that. We've actually got a new major sponsor on board with us for our seniors, and that's the Social Effect. It's actually a company that looks after online presentations and basically via social media. It's actually run by family members of a a player that used to be with us at Currumbin. Unfortunately, we lost Curtis Finn a number of years back, but it's the company itself is jumped on board. The company has jumped on board with us this year, and we're looking forward to working with them as we celebrate 10 years since Curtis's passing. We will be actually hosting the Curtis Finn Cup against Balambal later this year, and that's always a big day between Currumbin and Balambal when we celebrate Curtis's life. A couple of other new sponsors on board this year is the Fisherman's Wharf Tavern up at Surfers Paradise, and also our local RSL just over the creek behind us at Currumbin, as well as our returning sponsors, the Meat Smiths Butchery in the Pines, and also Scale Seafood, who have been a great sponsor of ours over the last few years.
Well, I think I've isolated where my sound issue is. I think it's my little mouthpiece, so I'll try and fix that before kick-off. Look, one of the other things while I've got you in the box, one of the other things I wanted to look to ask you is, what are you looking forward to this year? I guess you had such a fantastic year. Was it all three minor premiers last year?
It was all three minor premiers. Unfortunately, our A-grade side went out in quick succession in the semi-final and preliminary final, both hosted here at Currumbin, which was a little bit unfortunate.
Yep.
Our 19s last year, which is now an under-20s comp this year, they went on to win the competition, and obviously, as I mentioned before, reserve grade lost to a very strong Mudgeeraba side in the reserve grade grand final. But now we're looking to build on that. We've had a few retirees from our A-grade squad this year, but we've actually blooded a lot of young guys that have come through our junior ranks that are now playing A-grade today. There's a couple out there today. So now looking forward to a good clash here against Southport. Southport have built up pretty well in the off-season as well, so this should be a very, very good game.
Well, I can guarantee that plenty of our already established audience down south are chomping at the bit, mainly because, like the NRL, you guys are pretty much the only rugby league competition going around at the moment. Not too many of the local grassroots rugby league competitions have started. Certainly the likes of Canberra, Newcastle, Illawarra, most of those guys don't start until April. So hopefully we get a good audience tonight, and or this afternoon, I should say. It's quite dark. You wouldn't be mistaken for it being night time, but I think we're just waiting for a tee to come out, and we're very close. So, Pat, no doubt you've got other things to do. So if you do have to pop off throughout this first half, no doubt you'll pop off. So I'll thank you now as we're getting close to kick-off.
No, we appreciate that, Brendan, and we're looking forward. I know Gold Coast Rugby League are very keen on having Bar TV Sports
Here we go. Board. Yeah, well, we're very excited. There's the kick-off. That's Southport running left to right in the orange, with Currumbin taking the ball up, and that's a great start by the 5'8". Bailey Gill. Oh, and it's an early penalty. That's not a good. That's a bit of a coach killer to start. Look, they're all pretty excited and motivated, but just stayed on the ball a little bit too long. We're a bit in the firing line here. Oh, that's a good looking
straight
kick.
Onto the roof.
That's all right. We're protected.
Bailey Gill, one of our Currumbin juniors for many years.
Fantastic. I guess that's the thing for our. Oh, and we've already seen a line break.
Matty Moncton.
That's a great run. Look, I tell you what, Currumbin are here to play. Southport have really have got a lift now, as we see the ball going out to the big front row, and it's a good hit.
Yeah, good hit up there by Stewie Mason.
So I tell you what, we're looking all right to the right here as they go. Oh, that looks a bit high, but it's okay. The referee says play on there around the shoulder. So for my benefit, I'm still just learning some of these names and some of the characters as we see the ball get knocked forward by Southport straight away are off to a flyer. I think it's the fullbacks dropped at Jake Gleeson, and
a bit lazy there. Should have covered that up.
Kyle Kennedy picks it up and scoots away. So here we go. So it's a bit of a settler now, a bit of a run there for the number 11, Perikia, I think it might be. So apologies to all those fans out there. Like I said, we've only just had our team sheets brought up to us, so hopefully we'll start to get to know some of these names and let you know who's going. But just talking about the excitement about this year as we see Southport getting on the 10-metre line there. Look, it's great for us to be up here from Bar TV's point of view as we see ourselves go. I'll just have...
Held up.
He's held up. No, he's definitely held up there, and we're going to see the ball brought out to the 10-metre line. Very good run by the outside centre there in Jack Conlon. Jack's picking it up there. Got the old 70s haircut. It's always good to see. All right, so we see the ball get spread out. There's the big number 10 goes down. It looks to me like the 5'8" Lee Turner's first receiver, which is interesting on the left-hand side. That could be a try. No, he's knocked it on. He's knocked it on. So I think that may have been, oh, here we go. They've tried to get a bit of a push and shove there. Yeah, a bit of a push and shove, just trying to get a quick start. So as I said, it's it's through the hands. So look, I guess we got early opening. As we see a cutout ball, winger on winger. Jack Conlon comes in to help his winger out. So another great run there from the
Jake Smith.
Outside centre. They're getting involved, the centres, the outside backs. Let's see if we've got a forward waiting. We do. Oh, second receiver, the big front rower. Stewie Mason getting a... Oh, here we go. Oh, that's...
dropped it.
So like I said, it's just I guess a couple of nerves. Look, it's always a long off season, and you can practice all you want in the training park, but until it's game day, it always takes a little while for your nerves to settle down. But
yeah, at Currumbin we actually had we actually didn't start our pre-season as early as we did last year. We sort of obviously with our coach Ryan Gundry wanting to sort of hold off on, obviously last year we probably peaked a little bit early, and we sort of fell away in that back end, but we started a little bit later this year. The boys only had 2 trial games leading into this weekend, so this is probably the first time a lot of these guys have actually had a run together.
Yeah, so how did you go in your pre-season games?
So we had a trial game down at Lismore against Lismore Maris Brothers, which we do every year. Either we host, this year we went down there. We had a tough fought game down there. We got away with that, and then last week we hosted Burley here, very strong Burley A grade, who I think it was about 6 tries to 2 in favour of Burley last week, but it was a good hard hit out.
Well, they look like they had recruited pretty well in the off-season. I know off air you and I had a chat as we see the big number 12 almost put through the gap there. Yeah, we had a chat earlier, and you mentioned that you took a couple of players from Tweed who are no longer in the comp, the runners-up from last year. But I guess you've strengthened up your ranks or some of your new players that you've got come through. As we see a little grubber put through, bit of a ping-pong. I tell you what, he's having a look. There's a couple of little knock-ons. No, he's been held up.
He's held up.
Well, that's fantastic defence because that ended up being a bit of a ping-pong.
It was a little bit scrappy there. But yeah, no, we with Tweed pulling out of the local A-grade comp, there was quite a few players on the market. We've also managed to get a bit of an agreement with Tweed. We've picked up a couple of their fringe Queensland Cup players who, when not playing Q Cup for Tweed, will actually come back and play at Currumbin. And a number of clubs on the Gold Coast have done similar things with Tweed.
That's great because I guess, you don't want to lose your players to any other areas. If you can keep them in your competition, then of course it's just going to strengthen the quality. As we see Southport going to the left, it's an inside ball to the... it looks like Vitoe probably, as he scrambles over. Oh, he's just probably
just short of the line,
maybe even a foot short there. They're going to go to the right here. They've got plenty of numbers out there. Oh, and it's
play on 6 more.
As we see the referee tell us we've got 6 more tackles. So, oh no, it's another penalty there for hanging around too long. It's the winger coming out there. I'm assuming it was Mike McKinnon there that was probably stayed on him a bit too long then.
Wasn't sure who was that, but yeah, no, not what we want to be doing in our own 10.
Jay Conlon takes the quick tap and he's been told, mate, you're off the mark. So, like you said, yeah, it's a bit of an exciting start. It's Currumbin here, they've got the work cut out for them. They've had, this is now the 3rd set that they're defending, as we see. Oh, a loose ball, that should be picked up. Oh, he's towed it ahead, the big front rower.
Big Pele Talisi, yeah. I don't think he really wanted to chase that one down.
No. I was surprised he didn't dive on the ball, but I think he realised that there was already a bit of a knock on there. So I think actually I've just seen the referee say that the feed is going to go to Southport there. So there must have been a little
Currumbin hand in there as the ball was passed. I think it's knocked it forward. So yeah, Southport feed.
So here we go. So this looks like it'll be the 4th or 5th set that Currumbin's going to have to defend. It's probably not ideal for for the fitness for the boys, having all these tackles at the start of the game.
They have been putting it in at training, but yeah, I guess this is the fourth set now. Yeah, time will tell if the training's paid off.
And it looks like they've got this right-hand side of the field stacked, but they've gone to the left.
Numbers.
No, I think Currumbin's got them covered out there. They've gone the wrong way. Darts back in, though. Running sideways as he gets put down. So this is a very tight affair. Ball's come out, and he's lost it forward.
Great defence from the boys.
There you go. Big pat on the back. Can't quite see who that is at the moment, but...
I think it was Harrison Burling, the 13, that pulled that one off.
Yeah, looks like it. So... Here we go. So a bit of a settler now. No doubt Currumbin can get their forwards. They've done a lot of tackling, so keep our eye out for the winger or the inside centres to come in and take this first one up and give them a bit of a rest as they pack this scrum. No doubt they'll be taking in the big ones. It's always tough, you know, the off-season. Everybody has a big Christmas dinner and the like, and by the time you come back in the heat, fitness as always takes a little while to get back up and running, as we see Currumbin take the ball outside the scrum, and well met by the three defenders from the Southport Tigers.
One of our club stalwarts there, number 3, Kenny Allison. Been at the club a long time.
Was he a junior as well? Or?
He wasn't a junior.
Okay.
He's only played seniors, but he's been here for about 8 or 9 years.
Okay. Well, big defence there.
One of the elder statesmen.
Okay. Well, that's good. So your captain this year, I haven't noticed who your captain is of the side today.
The captain is it's Phil Ramage. I think Ryan has actually got him starting off the bench today. But, yeah, Phil's been captain last year and again this year. As
we see the ball go up into Southport's 10-metre line, it's a very good kick and a good chase as well. They should keep him on the 10-metre line, so that's a very good result, just outside the 10. So what can Southport do? They've spent most of their time up on the Currumbin line. Let's see how they go trying to get their way out of their own half. Looks like Jack Conlon jumps into dummy half. He'll probably scoot out of there, give his big forwards a bit of a rest as he does. Oh, and he's beaten the first line of defence.
Currumbin can't afford to give away a penalty here now. They've worked too hard to get it back up to this end of the field.
Absolutely, and I guess that's the thing that Coach Jake... Oh, and we see the 5'8" pushing his way through. Good run there. See the third man come in. All right, so we have an early kick there, but fullback's got to come across in cover. Same good kick chase again by the kicker.
Oh,
that's Jacob.
Jake Gleeson. Jake Gleeson's put it down.
He has. That's very good kick and chase by by Jack Ponninger. I can hear him yelling out, "Good job, Potty." He's taken the old Cameron Smith kick out of dummy half, and then he's chased his own kick and had very good defence. So that's a bit of a coach killer as well for poor old Jake. But look, they've done really well defending their line. No doubt they'll be able to hold out again.
Well, they've done it once. Hopefully they can do it for another set here.
Now, although our camera isn't picking up on the other side of the ground, you've got a good-looking crowd here, Pat. It's pretty happy with the numbers you've got so far.
Yeah, it's actually the weather's probably kept a few away today, but yeah, normally we get a decent crowd in here. We've got full bar facilities and canteen, so you can always come down on a Sunday afternoon and have a couple of quiet beverages with your mates and have a feed. Another penalty there.
Yeah, it looks like it's an offside penalty. I think he's probably going to have a word here. There's been a fair few... He's calling his player over. We did have the referee's mic going before, but unfortunately it's a little bit fuzzy, so we're not going to be able to have a listen into this, but that might be your standing captain, is it there, Pat?
It's Pele. He's having a word with whether Pele was the infringer or as captain.
It could have been, so... Yep. Penalty's being given on the 10-metre line, so the big front row takes a hit up. But no, it's a great facilities here. Like you were saying to me before, you've got your own bar facilities here, so you know all those people who are probably as we see. Oh, that's very good defence.
That tackle there, Bailey Desmond. He's actually from our under-20 squad who's making his debut in A grade today, and yeah, one of our juniors who's come right through the ranks.
Well, I tell you what, that one-on-one tackle was a try saver. So and as he goes,
been caught wide.
He has. Well, he wasn't out there to defend, so that looked like a try to, it looks like Jared Arnell. Jared Arnell scores out in the left-hand corner. Like you said, I think Bailey was caught defending on that earlier
pulled
previous
off a great tackle on the last one, but unfortunately...
Yeah, he was still at marker, it looked like, and it looked like the inside centre number 3. Is that Kenny Allison? Yeah, it was Kenny Allison out there, just was not quite wide enough to defend that. So Currumbin have conceded the first try, but I must admit all the action's been happening down on the Currumbin line. After that one drop ball, they had such a great start to the game.
Yeah, and I'm sure Ryan Gundry, the coach, is going to have a few messages sent out there by our league safes. The boys just need to tidy up a few things.
And how long's Ryan Gundry, your coach, been with you?
Okay, this is Ryan's third year in Currumbin. Ryan came to us back in 2017. We got him. He came back over from Perth with the family.
Oh, okay.
He was actually a Burleigh boy.
Okay.
Ryan's he played QTOP for Burleigh a number of years back and came back. He's been coaching over in Perth. We picked him up in 2017. He's been fantastic. He takes an interest in what we're doing with our juniors. Mm-hmm. A great club man, and he's really looked at working with us and getting the culture right at Currumbin, and it's great to have him on board again.
It's fantastic. As we see, it looks like Jack Conlon has goal kick out on the western touchline here. Fairly difficult kick to start. Here he goes. He approaches it. Looks pretty good off the boot.
Looks good in flight. Just across the front.
It's just across the front. All right, so it's 4-0 to the Tigers. Very positive. I'm sure Steve Dowd, coach of the Tigers, is pretty happy with that start, even though they did have that initial drop ball.
I was having a chat with Dowdy at the season launch the other night for the Gold Coast Rugby League, and he's back involved with Southport this year in an A-grade coaching capacity, and he's a bit of a legend at Southport, Dowdy.
Okay. So that's a very good-looking kick taken out on the eastern side touchline as we see the ball brought back up, and they'll have it on the around about the 15-metre in front of their own line. So it looks like we've got a bit of blue sky actually out in the distance. So hopefully for all because you've got plenty of crowd here. They all had their umbrellas out earlier, but
it gets a bit hard if they all have to squeeze under the awning beneath us.
Absolutely. But it's a luxury of grassroots sport. As we see Southport, fullback comes across in cover. Oh, he's shrugged off. Oh, no, but he's held on to him. He's got a ball out. Oh, they've kicked early.
Too big.
Oh, well, that was a great run there.
I think it was the right plan, just a little bit too big on the kick execution.
So it looked like it was Vaitoe. I'll have to double check my pronunciation of Vaitoe, the big number 13 with the ponytail. Broke through the line of defence, came up straight, saw the fullback coming across in cover. He's darted to that western side line. And luckily the fullback, Jake Gleeson for Currumbin, came across, just had a hand on him, and has managed to slow him down and get that ball away. So we see Currumbin having to work their way out of their own 10-metre line again. Oh, it's a bit of a horrible pass. He's done well, though, to pick it up. 4 in the tackle. Southport, they are here to play, that's for sure. Currumbin have definitely got a match on their hands.
Mike McKinnon.
Little shimmy.
Good run.
Little shimmy from Mike. Bit of chat there from the second rower for Southport, telling him. So as we see Currumbin making their way out of their own half, still on the 40-metre line as the defence holds him nice and tight. Looks like it's the 4th tackle, I'm assuming. Another good run.
Yep.
5th and last here. Didn't quite make it out of their half, so another big kick chase here. He's put it up high.
A big kick from Luke Jerd. Oh, well, he's knocked it on.
Looked like Ryan Rio out there on the far wing. So here we go. It's a great opportunity and a very good angled run there from...
that's Pele Talisi.
Pele Talisi. I'm going to refer to him as Pele.
We do.
All right, so They're coming to the left here. They got numbers. Winger was open, but wasn't able to get the ball out. So this is really Southport's. Looks like a bit of an injury here. He's a bit slow getting up. He's a bit groggy. He'll play the ball, though. As I was saying before, it's Southport's first real challenge here. This is the couple more tackles up their sleeve. As he darts out, he's pushing, but he's held up over the line and will probably be pushed back into the field of play, and he does. No, we've got an injury, so we're going to stop play here. I think that was your outside centre.
Yeah, that's Jake Smith. He's down.
He's really struggling. He wants to play on, but no, it looks like it's a concussion to me. So look, maybe you can fill me in on that, Pat. In terms of the concussion.
Okay, so in local A grade there is no HIA, so there's no free interchange. If he goes off, he still will be subject to a test, but there's no free interchange for HIA.
Fair enough. He's definitely going over to the left-hand side, so he's a bit wobbly on his feet. But does that mean you're going to head off, Pat? Thanks so much, mate.
But mate, great to be here with you, Brendan, and we look forward to working with Bar TV Sports, mate, throughout 2019 and beyond.
Thanks, mate. Thanks for your hospitality and good luck for the rest of the match.
Good on you, mate. Cheers.
All right, so we do see him taking himself off the field. I'm pretty sure we've got that in camera there. So, yep, it was Jake Smith. So hopefully Jake's okay. Currumbin still in a great position here as a ball's picked off by Luke Jerd. On his toes, he's done very well. He's still standing there, he's calling for the ball. First receiver, no, they go the opposite way. Little kick through, but it's ricocheted off the Southport, and he may have even been held back there, so we'll see what happens here. No, he's called the knock on. So it's it was the fifth and last anyway, so it is a knock on and a changeover. So Southport have done very well to hold out there. Tough again for Southport. They haven't seen themselves having to get their ball out of their own 10-metre line, but they've had a good run there, made 10 metres and now on the 20. I didn't see who was brought on as a replacement. It looks to me, actually there's a penalty there. He's all over him in the play the ball. Actually, I can tell you exactly, it's Adam Kelly. Sorry, no, that's my mistake. It's Liam Donnelly. Liam Donnelly's come out as a replacement. Liam Donnelly in the 17 jerseys come out as a replacement for Jake Smith. As we see a good defensive tackle there, 3 in the tackle from Currumbin. And Jacob Pottinger, after he's done his that initial work early, he's gone off the field in the headgear in number 14. And Tay Doyle's come on for him. So Tay Doyle, the number 14, takes the ball at dummy half, goes to the left. Oh, and it's dropped cold. Dropped cold by Liam Hampson. The halfback Liam Hampson just took a little look up to see where he was going, and he's dropped his lollies. As we see Currumbin, bit of a let off there for Currumbin. They've done a lot of defensive work. I can see them all taking the big deep breaths as we have this scrum about to be packed on the 40-metre line. So it's great to get the insight from the likes of Pat, being the president of Currumbin. And I think that's the key for Bar TV Sports this year. We're going to find out all the different characters from all the different teams. So if you're watching the live stream here on Bar TV Sports and you're new to the Bar TV Sports audience, as we see the ball come out, that's his first hit up. It's a good start by the replacement player in Liam Donnelly. Not much room over here. Good defence by Jack Conlon with the, I like to call it the 70s haircut. But no, if any of you involved in Rugby League Gold Coast, both in administration and in the clubs, Bar TV Sports is very much encouraging all to jump on the mic and tell us a little bit about your club. Not only educating, it looks like it's a penalty there inside the 10 metre. I think it might have even been, I think it was the number 11 in Pakia. So it's a great opportunity here for Currumbin. They're about on the 15-metre line as we see the ball. It's a hit up there from Mike Gray. Mike's about 5 metres out. The ball's coming across the back line. That's a great hands. He's got the overlap, but he couldn't get the ball out to Mike McKinnon. Little inside ball, but Southport's all over that, and they've got it covered. So what can Currumbin do? It's another opportunity for them. A couple more tackles up their sleeve. No, he's put in an early grubber. Just shies past the upright. That would have been interesting if it had hit that upright. Funnily enough, it's something that a lot more halfbacks are doing these days, aiming at that base of the uprights. Causes havoc when it hits it. And I think they've indicated that it's going to be a dropout. It must have touched a Southport player on its way through. So here we go. This is a repeat 6 for Currumbin, the Eagles. I think we're waiting for a ball. Here we go. Looks like Jack Conlon's also the player to do the dropouts as he goes. Here he goes. Oh, it's a low kick. Oh, but it's caused a couple of dramas there. I think that might be Mike Gray over on the far side. Yes, it is. So it's a good run from Mike. Brought it centre field. Harrison Burling with the hit up. Doing a lot of work. Oh, that's touched. I think that's going to be knock on. I think he's going to bring it back. Yes, it was. So there you go. So we'll see another scrum pack on the 20-metre line. So Currumbin, here we go. I'm sure Ryan Gundry's pretty happy with how things are settling down now. This is another repeat 6 for Currumbin on their 20-metre line. They're in a great position. We see a couple of sprinkles coming down. And a bit of thunder. That's never a good sign. Bit of thunder in the background. What I might do is take a little look. I can have a look at some of the scores around the grounds as we have a ball coming out of the 580. Showed and Goad. Up there, Bailey Gill. Plays the ball. Oh, he's bobbled it. That's a very good run from the big front rower. No one will stop him from there. That's going to be try time. Well done to Stewie Mason. He's had a very big early impact. So well done, Stewie Mason. A little bobble from Luke Jerd. And as Jurdy bobbled that, gave himself a little bit of time. Popped the ball to Mike Gray. Sorry, Stewie Mason. Stewie's taking the ball across the front of the goals. And look, 5 metres with a head full of steam. Pretty tough to stop a front rower there. And he just bounced his way over the line to score that try. Fantastic effort from Currumbin to hit back 4-all with a kick to come in. Not knowing much about how Jurdy can kick him, you'd expect this to go over. Oh, there we go. We've had a little flash of lightning, so the heavens will be opening up. We see a lot of the umbrellas getting brought out. Feel sorry for our camera operator out at Tugan, out the back of a ute, as we hear the thunder rolling in. Luke Jerd approaches, kicks it, and he's almost kicked that to Brisbane. But it's through, and we've got ourselves Currumbin taking the lead for the first time in the match. Jack Conlon bringing the ball back up and looking around for his tee, which is on its way over. So a very good hit back there for Ryan Gundry's side. As we see the lights come on here at Currumbin. To be honest, there's not any wind at all. We've got storms are brewing all over the country as we see that ball. Oh, it's gone out on the full. That's a tough, as we see Jack Conlon head in the hands. He'll get over that one. So not the ideal start. So it's been all Currumbin the last 10 minutes. So started off Currumbin first 5 minutes were doing very well. next 10 minutes. And that might not find the line. It doesn't. Oh, he's done very well, but it still bubbles over the line. I'll tell you what, that's in the end, that's a great result for Currumbin. They're going to get the ball tapped on the 10-metre line. Josh Campbell. Another alpaca scrum. My apologies. That's right, it was, yes. It was touched. So we'll pack a scrum here on the 10-metre line. This could be very, very tough for Southport. Have another 6 tackles to defend as we approach the 26th minute. So that's Luke Jerd taking the ball up to the line. Plays the ball on the 15-metre. Couple of replacements. Looked like Harry Wecker on a Jared Gill. Both come on. Unfortunately, I didn't see who they've gone off for. As Luke Jerd throws a dummy, tries to scoot through. He may have got that down. I think he has. So I think that's going to be a try. That's a very, very good effort. You'd call that a wiry little guy there, just making his way, stepping, switching, twisting. Very difficult to stop. And like I said, a game of 2 halves. Currumbin, as the rain starts to get a little heavier here. To be honest, that Southport really should have been able to hold on to onto that player then. They had enough defence there, but he just twisted and squiggled and eventually got the ball down. Just goes to show when you make a mistake off a kick-off, it was basically a 100-metre difference there. The ball went out on the full over on the 5-metre line, and by the time the penalty kick was taken, they were back on the 10-metre line. So, bit of work here for Southport. Going to have to find their way back up the other end of the field. No doubt Jack Conlon will be thinking about getting that ball into the field of play as we see. Luke Jerd should kick this one as well, just same distance. And he does, which moves the score to 12 points to Currumbin Eagles, 4 points Southport Tigers. As you know, we've got 2 other A-grade games happening at the moment.
Luke Jerd converts his own try. Currumbin leads Southport 12 points to 4.
It's a much better kick as we see Currumbin on the 20-metre line. Bit of work to do to get themselves out of their own half. Just need a couple of settlers. Need to hold on to this ball, Currumbin, so that they can approach these last 10 minutes. Oh, he's almost out. Yeah, he has. He's jumped back up. No one had a hand on him. So it's a very good run. He's probably gone 20 metres there. They're all over him. They're not letting him up. Oh, and they've got the penalty. Just discipline, really. Luke Polson just holding on a bit too long. And I'm pretty sure, I'll just double check who that was. I think it's a replacement. I think it was a replacement in Harry Wecker. They go down the blind side. Very good defence. They've got plenty of players in Southport defence. 5 metres away from the line, they go along the back line. Bit of a high ball to the 5'8", who brings it back over to almost an identical position. So what will they do this time? They try to take a hit up. Oh, and it's another low pass out of dummy half there. And Luke Jerd has been unable to take that ball off his shoelaces.
Ladies and gentlemen, the winning numbers in the first try scoring doubles is home side.
Conditions are getting more and more difficult as this rain comes down. This deck has been rained on almost all of the day anyway. But now that this sprinkle has, or this small shower has come in, the ball is very, very wet. I think we're going to have plenty of handling issues in these last 10 minutes. So it's Southport now to work their way back out of their half. They haven't seen themselves up the other end of the field for about 20 minutes. Currumbin having all the ball and all the attack. So we see a great run out of dummy half there. Markers had slacked off, but the number 15 in Harry Wecker was there to bring him down. Southport, they're all sort of hanging around. No one's out wide here on the left. Jack Conlon slowly makes his way out here. They're all a bit bunched there, Southport. So here we go. They've made their way onto the halfway line, and the ball's gone nice and high with a slippery ball. This is going to be difficult. Oh, he's done very, very, very well. Jake Gleeson. Slippery ball, high ball, only had eyes for it. It looks like we're inside the 10. He was screaming and shouting, I could hear it from here, get onside, but so discipline from Southport. I'm pretty sure Steve Dowd, the coach of Southport, will be letting his players know that they really need to cut these penalties down. As we see a great run there from Mike Gray. Gray plays the ball on the 25-metre line as we see Wecker, another big run. He's had a huge impact since coming on. Plays the ball on the 15-metre line. Luke Jerd, good cutout ball to the other replacement player who gets it out the back. Jake Gleeson with the ball. And the defence, they had the overlap, but... and it looks like it could be a little knock on. Oh, there you go. So Southport have hang on there. Another try there would have really put Currumbin in a strong position going into that half-time break. I can see here there's a lot of tired heads out there, a lot of hands on hips. It's always tough. First game back. It's so muggy here on the Gold Coast. This storm is just sitting around. It's not helpful for the players who probably are struggling with match fitness in general. As you see, Jack Conlon with the ball brought down, probably with inside the 20-metre line, and he is. Still got the replacement player in Tay Doyle. Oh, there we go. We see a little line break from what I'm assuming is the halfback in Liam Hampson. Yes, it was. Liam plays the ball. And they're up and over the... oh, that's a great run as well. His legs are pumping. He's got an extra 6 or 7 metres there from that very strong run. As we see a couple more replacement players coming on. That's Adam Kelly in the headgear. Adam Kelly plays the ball well and truly inside the 40-metre line. Come here to the near side. Lee Turner with the ball, and he'll play it about 25 metres out. Here we go. Looks like he's going to go high. He does. That's a fullback in Kyle Kennedy. Oh, and Jake's made a meal of that. And it looks like it's offside as well, so it's going to be the penalty. Well, they're not going to go for goal because, of course, they want the try. As we see the rain really starting to come down now. You might not pick it up on the cameras, but the crowd has now absolutely taken themselves off the bleachers. See a settling run there from Luke Polson. Ball goes out to the left. Replacement player in Devon Tower playing the ball. Probably, no, they put him down. No, I thought he was going to get carried over the line there, but he's only probably about a metre or two out from the try line. Oh, it's a great ball, and I think that might even be Luke Polson who's got over there. It could have been Lachlan Douglas. It's definitely the front rower. I can't quite see in that pack of players there, but it was set up by the very, very good ball out of dummy half. And scoring that directly under the post, you've got to believe that the likes of a Jack Conlon will put this right over the red dot here at Currumbin, the Eagles, the team in red. Why have a black dot when you can have a red one? So no doubt, I can even hear the rain coming through one of our crowd effects microphones.
High scorer there for Southport, number 10, Luke Paulson.
It was Luke Paulson, so the number 10 who I thought got across the line. It was a great dummy half pass, and I'm pretty sure it was Tay Doyle that put that ball on his chest as we hear the thunder rolling in. Didn't see the lightning that time. But Steve Dowd will be very happy with that kick back. That was a very, very good run as we see the ball go through the hoops across on the other field. So it's another good kick. So we've got the score moves to 12 points to 10. Eagles still have the lead. The Eagles just walking their way back with only less than 4 minutes left to play. They're in no rush to kick off here. But it's been a cracker of a match, I must admit. 2 points in it at half time. 4 tries in total. As we see Luke Jerd getting ourselves underway. It's going very close to the sideline, but it's a very good kick. It was pinpoint accuracy, and we see Southport playing the ball in the 20-metre line. So let's see what that can do. They were able to get out of their own half from that brilliant run from Liam Hampson. Another good run from Devon Toa. He's come on and made a huge impact, just like the number 15 for Currumbin and Harry Wecker. So they've made their way to the halfway line again, and they've still got a tackle or two up their sleeve. He's gone early with the kick, but Jake Gleeson was all over that, and he's able to make his way just across the 20-metre line. This pill is getting slipperier and slipperier. He's come across field and only made 1 or 2 metres there. Gives the dummy and jumps out of the play the ball. Here comes Harry Wecker. Another good 10, 15 metre run there. They're 5 metres off the halfway line. And we've got another penalty. Each just, that's almost deja vu. Harry again bringing the ball just on that halfway line, 15 metres. And gets another penalty. So once again, like I said, Steve Dowd will definitely be talking to the boys. With this rain, it's only going to get more and more difficult to hold on to the pill. And these penalties really are starting to hurt their territory. First receiver in halfback goes to the 5'8", pops the ball up. Oh, and it's a jersey grab from Jack Conlon. That needed to happen there. They had the overlap. There's Harry Vecker. Oh, he's been crunched. No, he gets up to try and play on. No, he's been told to go back onto the mark. They come here to the left. Holds the ball back there. Here's Bailey Gill. Playing the ball when he gets up on the 10-metre line. Oh, that's a great ball out from Gray. They've got the overlap. Can they get it? No, he goes himself, and that's going to be try time. He improves it. Gets under the posts. I have a feeling that could have been Jake Gleeson. I just didn't quite get the number there. No, it wasn't Jake. It was, in fact, Kenny Allison. So well done to Kenny Allison. I thought he may have bombed that when he had his winger open on the far right-hand wing. But he shaped the pass, cut back on the inside, and a gaping hole just opened up, and he was able to go and improve it. I've got the feeling now with this 2-point buffer, this was a very important kick again from in front. So he's done very, very, very well, Kenny Allison, in getting through that gap and being able to put that ball over the try line under the sticks. So it makes it a lot easier for Luke Jerd to try and kick this one. So as you can see, the rain is absolutely bucketing down here. players are going to be saturated getting back into those change rooms. Joe takes his time, he strikes it. And that just will be half time. So a cracking half, very good finish to the half. Like I said, it was really a first 5 minutes, Currumbin got off to a really great start, but then the next 10-15 minutes was all Southport. I think they had 6 or 7 sets in a row on Currumbin, who did very, very well, but then eventually let the ball go across as we see all the players making their way out of the rain. So that's just gone half time for us here at Currumbin. Scores 18-0 to the Currumbin Eagles. And we'll go on a small break. But big shout out to some of the sponsors for Rugby League Gold Coast. Of course, we've got QTOP being the Queensland Traffic Offenders Program, and the education program being the one of the major sponsors here. Big thanks to Kennard's Hire, Grand Motors, Rebel Sport, the Royal Pines Resort, Power Sports Trophies, and the Burleigh Leagues Club. And of course the affiliation with Rugby League Gold Coast with the Titans. So I'm Brendan from Bar TV. That's half time here at Currumbin with a score of 18 points to 10. Eagles leading the Tigers. And we'll have a short break. Hopefully the rain settles itself and we'll see you for the second half in a couple of minutes' time. Okay, so looks like we're about to be back underway. As some of you are just joining into Bar TV Sports, score is Currumbin Eagles, the home team, leading 18 points to the Southport Tigers, who have travelled down from the north. They're on 10 points. And very lucky to be joined in the commentary box with Scott Dunchie from Rugby League Gold Coast. Thanks for joining us, Scott.
No worries, mate. Pleasure to be here.
So, look, unfortunately, you haven't really turned the weather on for me, but or for any of the other guys playing around the grounds. I know Tugan's probably getting this same rain as well. But, mate, pretty exciting, I guess, to be back starting the season. I was saying to Pat earlier, there's not too many rugby leagues started already at this point, pretty much you and the NRL.
Yeah, that's it, mate. We got an extended season this year of 21 rounds, so you had to kick off a bit earlier to make sure we finish on time before the NRL Grand Final. So.
Yeah, fair enough, fair call. No, well, what I was saying was as we see Currumbin running out on the field, keeping dry for as long as they can. We haven't had a break in the weather. The rain is still coming down, so no doubt we're going to have a slippery pill for the rest of this match. But, no, look, I know you've had a pretty busy off-season regarding, even just the likes of Bar TV jumping on board and being able to stream a match of the round every week for you, as well as the opportunity to have all first-grade games up to Facebook and YouTube and the like. Anything else that you'd like to let your fans know about? Any other insights into what's new this year or what's changed?
Yeah, no, obviously it's a big change for us at Rugby League Gold Coast. We had a lot of feedback from our stakeholders and supporters last year about trying to get more involved from the online content.
Yep.
And obviously with discussions with yourselves and our board, so there's a great opportunity to engage with our fans even more and be able to give the opportunity to live stream your games. And it's the way of the world these days, and getting that product out there as early as possible as we can. And for the people who can't get along to the games, and I think even as of today, we've got people over in the West and over in New Zealand are watching the game, and it's fantastic, and that's what we're looking for.
And I think that's the key. Like even just then, we just saw a kick out. The kick out goes to that far side, and with it being wet, gets down on his knees, did really, really well, and unfortunately must have had a foot on the sideline there. So we see Currumbin in a great position here on the 10-metre line. But no, just going back to that, I think it is key because, look, some of the fans and followers, they're going to come to the ground no matter what. Those fans, those mums and dads, those girlfriends, boyfriends, just they want to come down to the ground as we see the ball coming here. Mike Gray with the ball, gets it out to Jurdy, who will play the ball on the 10-metre line. But those fair weather fans who might not come down every single week, but it gives them a chance to stay involved in the game. And like you said, it's the mums and dads who don't live on the Gold Coast who really want to be able to watch their sons and their boyfriends, etc. And I think the key for us here at Bar TV Sports is we see a penalty to Currumbin. Not sure, it's held down, so not a great start here for Southport. They've really got to do something to get over that lead. But yeah, no, look, it's great the likes of yourself and your board, getting behind a new concept. Look, we all realise the impact that we've had with Bar TV Sports down in some of those other grassroots strongholds like the Canberra region, the Illawarra, the Hunter. And look at with the growing of soccer and AFL in the country, you've really got to look at a way to try and keep those players involved in the game, and this is just a great way to give them the exposure or pathways. We see Mike Gray gets a ball out to the fullback in, but that looked like Jake Gleeson just coughed it up. It is a slippery pill, so we'll see a scrum on the 10-metre line. But yeah, just it gives them that ability to get their sponsors a bit of a shout out and the like. I know that Pat embraced that and gave a couple of shout outs to the likes of Fisherman's Wharf and the Social Effect. But because there are plenty of sponsors that really do want to be involved and they do want their name out there, and I guess hopefully Bar TV can help with that.
Yeah, definitely, and it's obviously each weekend we go to the different grounds and give that exposure to the clubs who are both there, whether it be the home team or the away team.
Yep.
It's about giving those sponsors who do put a lot of money into these clubs and obviously help them out. Without them, they wouldn't be able to function as a team. So
that's right,
it's very important.
even to the point where, look, we always give a shout out, Bar TV Sports, we're new to the Gold Coast, and of course we're going to be we're going to be doing things throughout the year that's going to hopefully bring a little bit more of a story around some of those characters around the clubs. I know that as we see a kick, that's a pretty good kick actually. That looks like it's going to find touch. No, it doesn't. He's done very, very well, Jake Gleeson, to bring the ball back in field, and he's met strong tackle, 3 players, but they're failing to put him down. He's got strong legs. But yeah, those characters, we want to get in touch with those characters in the clubs because, like I was saying, footy doesn't happen without volunteers.
No, not at all.
And look, we realise that clubs pretty much function on the whims of those volunteers getting things done. But at the same time, as we see, the ball's very slippery. As Kenny Allison, after scoring that try just before half-time, he's dropped it cold in a very good position for Southport as we see a scrum being packed. But, yeah, without those volunteers, like I said, things don't happen for a lot of these clubs. But, things don't happen if you don't have your sponsors either. No. And it's just we know that a lot of clubs are getting by on the smell of an oily rag, especially if they don't have a leagues club backing them. Look, we've got a lot of competitions around the country where, you see a club with a big leagues club that are backing them, and the sponsorship isn't an important thing for them. But for some other clubs, signage around the grounds, logos on their shirts and the like, it's really what's keeping these clubs afloat. And without those sponsors, it's tough to keep the comp as strong as it is.
No, definitely right. It's very important. Yeah, we are lucky that we have a couple of clubs that do have leagues clubs that do support, but the majority of those clubs that don't have that, they've got to work very hard and tirelessly to secure their sponsors. Yep. And that's all work done by the volunteers, and they do it every year because they love the game, and that's right. They want to put their product out there for the players and do the best they can. Yeah,
and I think as we see, it's another good run. They're inside the 10-metre line. I might just focus back on the game. Great pick up there. Dancing, but too much defence there. He's had a very good game, actually, Tay Doyle.
He's very good.
He's come on, although they're, as we see the ball come out to the left, he's put a little grubber through. Oh, that's a great one-handed collection there from Kenny Allison, trying to make up for the little mistake that it cost him on the 40-metre line at the start of that set. Oh, that looks like a high shot there, and it's been called so. Well done. He gets straight back up, though. I tell you what, these wingers, mate, you look at them, you think to yourself, how are they so strong? He's just got straight back up. As the ball comes towards the commentary box here. So that's a bit of a let-off there for Currumbin. Southport having all the territory at the start of this half. It's an 8-point deficit as we see Mike Gray bringing the ball up. He's been tireless as well. Play the ball here on the halfway line. So, even the forwards here spreading the ball out to the through the back line. So Currumbin inside the Southport half with 2 or 3 tackles left to play. One of the things I was going to ask you, Scott, I know that there was no 20s being played, or some 20s weren't being played this weekend. Looking for 20s happening next weekend?
Yeah, that'll kick off next week. It's obviously it's a very difficult age group. Yep. Around that 16 through to 20 years of age. We have changed the ages this year.
That's right.
Our juniors to our seniors.
You were 19s last year, weren't you?
Yeah, we were. So we're trying to align with our representative program, being 18s and 20s with the model from above. It's difficult in that 19, 20-year age group. But we'll have 6 teams rolling around our under-20s competition, which, in essence, when we've got 7 A-grade clubs, we've got 6 teams there. It's not exactly the same ones, so but it's not too bad. So they'll have their round 1 draw come next weekend, and they'll run a 20-round competition for the year.
Well, I know that we had the 20s playing what I would probably classify as a trial match out at Runaway Bay, and then, of course, Currumbin had a 20s match here as well. So they were chomping on the bit to have a go as we see the ball go over the dead ball line, which sees Currumbin take the ball out to the 20-metre line and have a 0 restart. But so those under-20s, like we said, it changed from the under-19s to the under-20s. Was that more of a when you said it was more to run in line with your rep program? Is that?
Yeah, it is as well, but also looking at our structure with our juniors as well. That age group between the 16 to 20-year-olds is always a difficult one. There's a lot of options for the kids to be doing things, whether it be school or jobs, that sort of thing. So, and especially on the Gold Coast, you've obviously got a lot of attractions to doing a lot of things down here. So,
that's right, yeah.
And it's also made our under-18s competition, I think, will be extremely competitive competition this year.
Okay.
So obviously we needed to have 18s. You couldn't have 19s. We jumped through the 20s to align with our representative program. But and once our Meninga under-18s competition finishes in 3 or 4 weeks' time, a lot of those players that don't go on to 20s from there, they'll filter back into our competition.
Okay.
And that'll filter through to our 20s and our local 18s. So there'll be no issues there with our 20s going forward.
Well, I know Pat had huge raps on Bailey Desmond out there on the wing.
Yes, and great debut today, I think.
And he was the one he was the one that took the high shot. And like I said, there's not much to him, but he's bloody strong when he runs that ball, and his defence has been right on as they come towards him again. And he's done very well, keeping his opposite winger in line there. But, it is important. I think that's probably a really great point you make, that the fact that those under-18s and under-19s now, mate, half those guys are as big as these blokes anyway. So
definitely.
It's definitely a change in the times. We see a big flash of lightning here on the Gold Coast. Scott, as we hear the thunder come through, I might just keep calling the play here, because Southport are really in a good position with a tackle in hand here. So they're just inside the 15-metre line as we see them go back into the centre of field. They're spreading the ball out to the far side of the wing. They may even have an overlap here. Jack Conlon. No, he's been brought down about a metre from the line. This is fifth and last. What are they going to do? Puts a little grubber through. It hasn't really gone anywhere, and Currumbin have dived on top of it, so that'll be a settler. They'll work their way out. Scott, I was going to ask, we had a question throughout the week. We put a bit of a shout out to everybody to let them know that we're going to be doing the competition up here on the Gold Coast. And we had a question come through privately to us, just to ask us, how does your affiliation with the Titans work in terms of pathways? Have you got a? Oh, here we go. We see a penalty there. That's going to be a get out of jail free card for Currumbin. Yeah, in terms of the Titans, how does that relationship work? And maybe you can sort of outline a little bit about either whether or not it's a rep program or whether or not it's through pathways.
Yeah, it's a bit of both. We've actually the partnership probably hasn't been as strong as what it has been over the years, except for the last couple of years. It's really coming back.
Okay.
Dennis Watt there, the chairman, has been really engaged, and Steve Mitchell, the new CEO.
Yeah, he's just come up, hasn't he, from NRL Touch?
Yeah, he has, and obviously with Mel Meninga on board as well. So there's some good things that are happening there, and Garth's been very supportive of the local competition. The last couple of years, all coaches on the Gold Coast have had access to Garth and his coaching team. We've run 3 coaching seminars at the start of the year. They've just opened it up and come and conducted those. So
fantastic.
There's not too many places you'll get your NRL coaching staff that made it available to your grassroots football team. So no, the relationship's really good and really strong now, and it'll continue to get better. And as you can see now, they've got a lot of local juniors that are playing A grade, and that's NRL. And that's one of their key components, is try and create that pathway for the juniors. They don't need to go anywhere.
Yep.
The Titans are on the doorstep.
That's right.
So they're putting a lot more work back into the junior development programs, which we've been associated with, and our association there will only get stronger in the years to come. Yeah,
and I guess, look, that's the other. What we've found as Bar TV Sports, as we saw a drop ball there before, which a bit of a let-off for Southport as they try and work their way out of their half. One of the things that we've noticed, certainly around the Illawarra, for example, we all know that Wollongong's always been a bit of a birth ground for a lot of juniors coming through. And having that association both with St George and the Illawarra region, that we're noticing that while Bar TV Sports has been involved with the Illawarra, it's really put a lot of those players on the map for a lot of those coaches that are sort of seeing that they're no longer dependent so much on their scouters to actually find the young up-and-comers. As we see a disgusting play the ball, but he was all over him, so it's a penalty. We won't be seeing him shoot for goal. I'm sure they'll go for a try. But it's allowed those juniors who are coming through to just be on the radar for those NRL clubs, and even to the likes of, we had Jason Riles was coaching one of the local clubs down there, the Western Suburbs Devils, and it was the same thing. They were trying to not only blood the coaching staff but blood the players themselves, which we're hoping that might happen here as well.
I think it definitely will happen. It's the exposure for all people involved, whether it be the players, the coaching staff, or even the referees themselves. Yeah.
Actually, just on that, referees, you're exactly right. We've noticed as well, the refereeing, we see a big dummy thrown, but I think he's going to be held up. Yeah, he's been covered in that tackle there, the halfback, Liam Hampson. So the ball goes out. We've got a little grubber through. It looks to me like that's Jacob Pottinger back out on the ground. He had an absolutely fantastic first 20 minutes of that game, and I think Southport have brought him back on just to bring him that little bit of excitement out of dummy half again. But the referees, one of the big things that we've noticed is now that the guys are realising that they're being filmed and this is going out live, it's really helped us clean up a lot of those games. Yep. They realise they can't get away with anything. They might get away with it on field live, but look, we've got the video footage afterwards to, so a lot of those niggles have been taken out of the game. The referees themselves have really, the fact that although yourself and I are sort of blabbing on, so we can't actually hear the referees right now. But the earlier grades are always the referees get to hear themselves, and they can hear how they're actually talking to the players.
Yeah, correct.
A lot of the referees don't quite realise how they're speaking to the players and whether or not they think they're giving the messages across that are nice and clear. When they listen back to themselves, they realise, I realise I actually didn't warn him, or etc. So Jack Conlon busts the ball out. He's put a little grubber through. That's a great looking kick, but it's well covered. I think that may have been Jake Smith out there on the far side. But either way, we're going to have a repeat set here for Southport. They're starting to build a little bit of momentum. 8 points down. They need to score twice. We've got around about 25 minutes left to play. But yeah, no. The fact is, the referees allow themselves the ability to really sort of focus on how they're refereeing. Hopefully Bar TV, the new system that we're going to bring to you is that the minute the game's finished, those games are going to be available to coaches and referees, and we're overly confident that it's going to improve not only player and referee retention, but also this level of standard. As we see a drop ball, that's not what Southport needed. They're getting around the winger there, Corey Walker. But I think it may have even been Harrison Burling for Currumbin who caused that mistake. Big defence there. But no, look, we're really excited here at Bar TV Sports to be up here. We know the quality of rugby league up here is very, very good. And,
the standard of our competition is quite strong, and having this exposure is just going to make it more accessible for potential players that might want to move to the area. Obviously, the Gold Coast is an attraction as itself.
Absolutely.
And people see what the level of competition is, and they might want to be part of that in the future. So it'll only be good for our competition.
Just as you're talking there, it's always a funny one there. The ball went straight through the hands of Luke Jerd, but. Sometimes you see a referee call that if they're facing towards goal and the ball goes through their hands, they see that as playing with the ball. And, it's a bit of a weird rule, the old knock-on rule.
It is.
And to be honest, he didn't knock that on. He clearly knocked it backwards. It went through his hands and it did go backwards in flight anyway. As we see, I think that's Harry Vecker. He's done great guns, so I haven't seen whether or not he's gone off the ground, but he has been relentless with he's getting 10, 15 metres every time as we see a kick. Nice and low. Oh, he's juggled at the fullback, but he's cleaned that up, and he's still dancing. As we see Bailey, his defence, comes to the floor. He's had a great game, the young debutant.
Yeah, it's great to be.
So here we go, a little dart out of dummy half and gets a cheeky eye, and he's still going. That's a good 10-metre run there. Like I said, it's amazing to see in these wet conditions. This is when these little guys start to twist and weave. Oh, That looked like Matt Munkin, who's come out of the line there as Jack Conlon plays the ball. The winger comes out to help out, but he's been hit. He keeps going though. He's bounced out of that one and got another 5 metres. That was Corey Walker. And here we go. We see the dummy half kicking again from Potts. Or Potter, I think, actually. They told me his nickname is. Well done to Potter. Jack Conlon, good chase there. And he's held on to a very good tackle from marker as well from Jack Conlon. He's had a good game apart from that one little mistake off the kickoff after that second try. So Currumbin have gone all of about 3.5 metres in three tackles there. As you know, he wrestles his way past the line. No, he's been told to go back. He's all over the marker. And well done to the referee for making him go back on the line to play that. It's always interesting as a bystander to see the trainers out there just hovering, drink bottle in hand.
Yes, it's not something we like to see, but unfortunately we see it at the top level. And,
mate, absolutely.
And it's hard to really stem down at your local level when they see it on TV.
Absolutely. Well, when you got Tuvs out there, Jeff Tuvey was always used to get in trouble. He would be out there screaming things out as we see the trainer running off. So he was definitely there to give a bit of information as we see a great kick and chase there. So Southport gets good 10, 12 metres out of dummy half. Jack Conlon in at dummy half. He darts out as well. Oh, and it's been met by a good defence there. I think that was the replacement player in Jared Gill. It was. Good defence from Jared. And we see Luke Paulson, the earlier try scorer, playing the ball there. Another good run. Number 13 there. I have to check his I've been calling him... actually, here we go. We've gone on to the... and Bailey... Bailey's done very, very well again. As we get a bit of a struggle there, a bit of push and shove. But Bailey, I'll tell you what, he's holding his own. Bailey Desmond, he's done very well out on this wing, and he was all over his opposite winger there, making that tackle. So it's good to see these young guys coming through because, it is a bit overwhelming for some players. When they have their debut, they can be great at junior level, but when you come up and you're not playing against juniors anymore, you're up against men, it sometimes can be intimidating. But he has absolutely held his own out here.
Yeah, that's true, and having the Titans on our doorstep as well, like some of those really good 20-year-olds, they've got a bit of a policy they'd rather see them back here playing local A grade than playing in under-20s statewide comp as well.
Okay, that's great news.
So we'll see a lot of those young guys floating through our A grade level throughout the year.
Here we go, Currumbin. They've gone straight through the middle, but very good defence. I think that was the halfback in Lee Turner, who's actually had a very good game for Southport. See a little grubber through. Oh, the winger's done well to hold on to that. Probably rushed that kick and probably could have kicked down for the corner with the 8-point lead. But Jack Conlon in dummy half gives the ball out. Dancing, weaving. Here we go. They're starting to throw it around. They know that they've only got less than 20 minutes left of this game. Currumbin, the defence has been very, very good. And truth be told, defence has been very good for both sides.
Yeah, I think it's an interesting period now. It's with only 18 minutes to go, and fatigue really starting to set in, being the first game of the year.
Well, that's gone backwards for Jack Conlon. No, he's not happy about the call either. I probably jumped the gun when I said it went backwards, but it looked like it rolled backwards. But it might
have been a bit of a strip there.
I was about to say, I think the crowd saying that there was definitely a hand involved. So whether or not that's been well masked. But regardless, there's a scrum on the 30-metre line with Southport having to get the ball back. They definitely, it's an understatement to say they've got to be the next to score. But, if Currumbin put any kind of points on the board in the next 2 or 3 minutes, it's going to be very, very difficult in these conditions. Although I haven't even realised, but it's actually stopped raining out there. No, it hasn't. No, it is a sprinkle. Taking a while to get this scrum packed. Here we go. Ball goes out. So that's the replacement player in Liam Donnelly, who's come on for the injured Jake Smith. That's a penalty there.
Yeah, it's a bit of a lazy arm hung out there.
Nothing in it. He's just, what would you say, a bit of, it looked like the hooker in Jacob Pottinger. Yeah, just a bit lazy, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And look, this is the thing in early days, early rounds. The fitness, as you get tired, as you start, the fitness levels start to drop off. Sometimes it is easier just to stick the arm out instead of getting the shoulder involved. But I know that Steve Dowd would be. Oh, here we go, a little mistake there. It's gone backwards though. And it's a very good run, actually. He's brought it back over the 40-metre line, so they've got away with that one. Oh, and he's hurt his shoulder, the Southport.
It's number 13.
Number 13 again. I think it's come out of place, actually. He's in a lot of trouble there, reeling around. We'll keep you posted how he goes. As we see the replace... no, that was Mike Gray again playing the ball. Harry Wecker. And it looks like the referee has blew time off.
The trainer had his hand up.
Because it is... It is Vaitoa, I should say. He's up on his feet though, but it's definitely a right shoulder. Whether or not it's his, his collarbone, it looks like he's holding on to. We can't quite see it on the video here, but he's holding his right collarbone. It could be. So the ball now with Currumbin, about 10 metres out in front of the posts. Harry Wecker to play the ball with Josh Campbell at dummy half. We see the replacement player. I haven't seen the number of that player that's come on, but...
I think it was T. Dorr.
Oh, it was, yes. Yep. So he's the number 14's come out. So here we go. Time back on. 16 and a half minutes. Oh, he had no idea where that one's gone. Look, it's a slippery pill. It's round one. You've got to expect these sorts of mistakes.
Yeah, especially this time of the game, but obviously it's a poor mistake by Currumbin. They're in a position to potentially put some more points on to nearly ice the game, but keep Southport in the game now. And I think with T. Dorr coming on, that gives them another really good light-footed option around those tired guys in the middle.
Absolutely. Pottinger's pretty fresh. I actually think he's probably... It looks to me like he probably played the first 20 minutes of the first half, and it looks like he's playing the last 20 minutes of this half. So we'll keep our eye out for him as he throws the ball there from the scrum. But we'll keep our eye on him because it could be that we might even see Tay Doyle jumping into dummy half a little bit as well. So Currumbin's definitely got to be on their toes because both those fellas can dart out. We've seen it already so far in this game. On the 30-metre line, Southport 70 metres to go. They need to be next to score like we've been talking. And that's a nice little run from Carlo, the number 15. Pottinger in dummy half. What does he do? Gives the ball off to his big number 8, Lachlan Douglas. And here comes the earlier try scorer, Paulson. It's done pretty well. Oh, he almost got up and out of that tackle. He's a pretty lean front rower, I have to admit. He's pretty quick on his feet. Oh, and that looks like it's a ricochet, but Pottinger's done very well to get back. Let's see, 6 to go.
Yeah, it's a good opportunity for Southport here.
Jack Conlon with the ball, plays it on the 40-metre line, and here's the first tackle. So they've got 5 tackles up their sleeve as they get the ball out to the left. They've got an overlap. The ball goes to him, but the ball was just on his toes. Bailey Desmond's done very well. Will they drag him over the line? No. So it looked like it must have been Corey Walker. Is that Corey Walker? No, it's not actually. Yeah, Corey's on the other wing. Sorry, that was Ronan Rio. Pottinger back into dummy half. What can he do? He darts out. Like we said, he was always going to do. He's still going. Well, that's a 15-metre run, and he's about 1.5 metres away from the try line there. He's a slippery character as we see another dummy half run. I reckon he scored that. I think he scored that from our end. Yes, he has. He's blown try. So there you go. That's exactly what Southport needed. There was a very, very good run there from Pottinger. We talked about it a little bit earlier. He's come on. He's got fresh legs. His hands are great, and he's picked that ball up out of dummy half on the 20-metre line, and he's gone almost 20 metres to score. But a quick play the ball, and I think it was the number 11. I think it was Paikia. But he's laid down, so he may have scored the try, but he may have hurt himself in the process. But it's exactly what Southport needed. They've got a kick from in front. Jack Conlon, he's done pretty well with his goal kicking so far. So we expect this kick to go over. So all of a sudden, this is most probably going to be a 2-point ball game. An absolute nail-biter for the match of the round.
It's beautiful. Good
it's
start.
Exactly what we asked for at Bar TV Sports, so you've done us a favour there, Scott. Just on that, just quietly, for all those guys who are watching, Bar TV Sports would love to commentate, or at least have commentators for every single match. So if you think you're an up-and-comer, or even just somebody who'd like to give it a shot, make sure you get in contact with Bar TV Sports, either via Facebook or via email. As we see, Jack kicks it over the red dot. It's good to see the red dots here at Currumbin. So Jack's done that, so it's a 2-point game. 18 points. The Currumbin Eagles are leading Southport Tigers. But I must admit, these last 10, 15, or let's say the last 5-10 minutes, maybe with the injection of Pottinger, they've definitely had the better of this last period.
Yeah, they've controlled the ball a little bit better, and discipline's been really good, which has probably let them down a bit in the first half. But I think this next set, if they can get to a kick and get it down deep into Currumbin's area and try and force a mistake, they might have opportunity to get in front. Well,
you're absolutely right. They really need to hold on for this set. They need to get 5 tackles. Another good run. So that's a great run actually. So they're on the 35-metre line. So a couple more of these, get themselves up into a position. If they can get themselves inside that 40-metre line of the opposition half, which is pretty likely because Paulson's almost to the halfway line there. If they can get it inside their own 40, and
need to get a good kick away here.
That's exactly right. Put that ball up high. This pill is exactly that slippery dog that you just don't want any fullback or winger under. I tell you what, they're looking very good with the ball here, Southport. It's been all them these last 10 minutes. What can they do? This is the 5th and last. They decide to run it, put a little chip through. Oh, and they've kicked it straight to, I'm pretty sure that'll be Jake Gleeson there, fullback.
Yeah, the 5th tackle options haven't been good with their kicks. Haven't getting the results that they should be getting.
I wonder if it's... I wonder if Currumbin, I wonder if they can keep him in. No, that's a very good run. I was about to say, I wonder if Southport can keep him inside their 20 here for a couple of tackles, and then the pressure's back on them again. But no, they're almost to the 40-metre line. They've still got a tackle in hand. So Currumbin, they're doing everything right.
Yeah, that's a good option.
It's gone for a 40-20 here. I tell you what, that's going to happen. No, he's done very, very well to keep that ball in. Well done to Liam. Luke Jerd, Liam Hampson, who. No, it was Luke Jude. My apologies. Jack Conlon out of dummy half. Oh, that could have been high, but it's all right. The referee says it's bumped off the shoulder. So here we go. Southport, same position. They've got 4 tackles through Jack Conlon on the 35-metre line. Little scout out of dummy half. He's almost through, but he's up and over the halfway. I tell you what, the markers have really, really struggled for Currumbin. They've Pottinger, Tay Doyle, Jack Conlon's been out of there. As we see the overlap, the winger's open. Oh, he's brought it back. He's brought it back, and I actually think that was a call from the touchy.
Yeah, it was.
So well done to the touchy for being involved, and he would have been right there and on it. He looks like a wet duck. I've just looked out the window. But well done to him, because that's what they're there for, and I'd rather him making a call than not, because the referees have got enough to look after. So well done to the touchy on here. He's come back out. He's telling his boys to get back on side as well. So
no, he was in position there, mate. So they make those calls, and you've got to go with them.
Absolutely. No, to be honest, we haven't talked about the referees at all. To be honest, like I said, that one knock on where there may have been a hand in, and that's probably the only thing that you could probably fault him on, and he might have been incorrect. There might have been no hand. So it's always good when you're back first round and you're not talking about referees. I was listening to the grandstand driving down from 1RA Bay where we started the day off up there, and I was listening to Andrew Moore in the ABC grandstand, and he was chatting about it as well. We're talking about how good it is to be back at footy, and we're not talking about referees. Although, mind you, I remember that same conversation was this time last year, because those first 2 rounds were crackers. They let the ball play, and it was the 2 best rounds of rugby league I've seen for a long time. And then, week 3, it was an absolute whistle-a-thon.
That's it.
So back to this game, Currumbin. Oh, there was a hand in there, but he's called play on, and now they've knocked it on. So there was great defence there from Southport to make the tackle. The ball came out through the arm, but as that ball popped out, the player, I didn't see who it was, but the Currumbin player, I think it could have been the outside centre over there on the left edge, when he went to go pick it up, it looks like he's just knocked that on. So a let off there for Southport. Chance for Currumbin there to really seal the lead, but Southport, look, they've got 80 metres to go, but they did it 2 sets ago. They were able to go 80 metres.
Yeah, just got to get some field position, Brendan. They've just got to play the set out and get the kick down the other end and try and win the game through their defence.
And I must admit, out of dummy half, they're making 10 metres, and another great strong run from another little winger here. They can't put him down, though.
Yeah, Ronan Rio.
Oh, that's an absolute great run. He's done 15, 20 metres again. Jack Conlon with the ball, little shimmy, but that's very good defence there. So here we go, Pottinger. I know he's been pushed out, and it looks like he'll get, well, that's really well done by the Liam Hansen. He's pushed Pottinger away because you can see that the markers weren't straight, and he's pushed Pottinger away. He's picked the ball up and he's run directly through it. And now all of a sudden, Pottinger makes sure of it. Good on him for doing so. The last thing he wants to do is not find touch. But Southport are in an absolute dead set, strong position here on the 35-metre line to put pressure on him and even strangle this lead back as we see Paulson take the ball up just over the 30-metre line. Oh, and the ball's come out, but it has gone backwards, but Currumbin have been all over it and have picked it up. No, he's called knock on anyway.
Yeah, not the right play, doing short passes at the line in these conditions. It's very difficult to hold the ball.
It's sometimes all they needed was another couple of hit-ups there and get themselves inside that 10-metre line and do what they did last time, get that ball out wide, because a one-on-one in slippery conditions is always tough. But anyway, look, it's not. We've still got 7 minutes to go, so there's plenty of time here for Southport still. Tigers have been looking great these last 10 minutes, but what can Currumbin do? They need to get the ball back up to their own end as we see the ball come out of the scrum. Oh no, Mike Grace made an absolute meal of it. And they'll just call the knock on. So what an absolute coach killer. I've said it 3 times now. We've had a couple of mistakes here, but Ryan Gundry would be absolutely devastated with. It's just a matter of catch and pass, put it out in front of him on his breadbasket. I must admit, it was behind him.
Yeah,
so it was a tough ball.
It wasn't easy as it takes to take, but he should have done a better job than that.
It's actually one of. I mean, I had a chat with this at the end of last year. That as we're seeing the modern day game, and even they're now looking in that scrum. Yes, you've got your 2 front rowers, but then you've got your outside centre and your inside centre there in the scrum, or a winger as well, which means that you've got your big fellas out in the back line as we see a show and go, and that's a try to take the lead. That was the fullback in Kyle Kennedy. It was like he was Moses himself. The Red Sea of players is just dead set opened up, and he has sprinted through there to score, to take the lead. 20 points to 18, devastating the home crowd. It doesn't even matter if they'll kick this now, because they've taken the lead with 5 minutes to go.
For Southport, number 1, Kyle Kennedy.
Yeah, he's had a very good game, Kyle Kennedy, at the back in these conditions.
He's been safe,
yeah,
for sure.
Safe.
He has. But look, what was going on over there on that left edge, as I've been talking up.
Playing in the end goal, back behind the fence or down onto the mini field.
As I said, Bailey Desmond, he's done very, very well over on this right-hand wing, but on that left-hand wing, Mike McKinnon, it wasn't so much Mike McKinnon's fault, but between Mike McKinnon and I think it may have been the replacement in Jake Smith's replacement in
Liam Donnelly, I think.
Liam Donnelly, yeah. You know, it may have been that he just found himself out of position, not being a regular centre. Yep. I don't know. If Pat was here, he'd let me know whether or not that was the case. But we know that their starting centre in Jake Smith went off with the what looked like concussion, to be honest. And well done to Currumbin and Pat, because he was wobbly. He wanted to stay on the field, but they got him off. So well done to the club and we haven't seen him come back on. So, you know, round one, look, you wouldn't expect him to come back out. So here we see Jack Conlon right on the touch meter on the 25 out, approaches the ball, looks pretty good off the boot, and he's kicked it. He has dead set kicked. Like I said to you, he's had a good game.
No, he's got a very high involvement, hasn't he? Taking
absolutely.
Those hard yards out from doing
dummy half.
sets.
Yep, out of dummy half as well. And his kicking game's been pretty on. He made that one little mistake. So it's all up to Currumbin now. They've got less than 4 minutes to play. Kick goes in. They just need to, and he takes his time there just to make sure that it's into the bread basket. Southport, they've just got to hold onto the ball for 6. Put a kick in that bottom right-hand corner or left-hand corner. Oh, there's Paulson. He's had a very good game. And hang on a second. They're offside.
Currumbin too eager to get up there and try and force a mistake.
I thought it was offside when I first saw it, but I didn't say anything, and then the referee and the crowd saw exactly what I'd seen. Pottinger makes sure of it, kicks it up into the newly built timekeeper's box over the side there.
Yeah, it's a good addition to the club here, and it's obviously, again, a lot of volunteers would no doubt have been involved in putting that together.
Absolutely. Yeah, a bit of sponsorship money just to get it over the line, but like you said, it's the volunteers are the ones that do the hard yards. But from Bar TV's point of view, mate, anything with a roof and a window, we absolutely love. Big shout out to our camera operator at Tugan, who is definitely wetter than the touch judge on our commentary side of the field here at Currumbin. Okay, so Southport in a great position all of a sudden. What can they do? 2.5 minutes left to play. Dancing. Ball comes out to this left-hand side. Oh, he's turned back in, but Mike Gray's done a great effort there, one-on-one tackle, and he's held him down on the ground. He looks like he could be injured here. Is it a little time wasting, or is he legit injured?
No, he's been carrying the ankle for a little while, I think.
And he's got
he scored a try from under the post.
Oh, that's exactly right, Nate. You're right there. He's on his all haunches, but they've called time off anyway because we've got a little bit over 2 minutes to play. It's actually could be, yeah, it's his left ankle. You're right. He's got his quad heavily strapped as well. I think it was Pokia. But no, he will get up and play the ball, so he's all right. He's just, yeah, it is his ankle, left ankle. Here we go. So time back on. Pottinger out from dummy half. Hampson on to Turner. Turner on to Kennedy. Kennedy's put a little quick through, has he? Oh my God! No, he's called knock on. I was about to say, if that's a try, he is dead set. Put that through. He's letting him know that Kennedy's letting the ref know that he did it cleanly. As we see Liam Hampson getting involved, you want to see that in a halfback. He needs to be asking questions and just a little niggle. As we see a very good run from Stewie Mason, who's also had a pretty good game. I think he's been off on the interchange bench for a little while there. But here we go. It's all to do for Currumbin. They got a minute and a half. A minute and a half left to play, or just slightly less. Here we go. They're in the wrong end of the field. He's put a little grubber through. Mike Grace towed it through. Oh, no. Kennedy's, it is going to be a double knock on. They're going to have to. Where's Currumbin? Here we go. They're switched on. They're calling over the scrum. Come on. So that was very, very well done by Mike Gray. And here we go. We've got time off with just under a minute left to play. So I tell you what, like I said to you, Scott, you've turned it on for Bar TV and the fellow audience. This is going to come down to the last play. No, he's called time on. He's called time on. So here we go. You know what? I'm not even going to get involved in time-ons and
No.
time-offs because, like I said, if you're looking at the Bar TV clock, if I don't even know that what time it is, I can guarantee my scorer doesn't know. So we'll just go on the official timekeepers, but we think there's around about 50 seconds left, which is probably going to be this entire set from Currumbin. They've gone backwards. They're on the 45-metre line. Here we go. It's up to Stewie Mason again for another strong run, but very good tackle there from Paulson over the top. What can they do, Currumbin? No, he's blown a penalty. He's taken a quick tap, Stewie Mason. No, he's been told to brought back.
Yeah, hasn't been given the mark.
So here we go. We've got to get this ball back. The clock is still ticking away. Here we go. He's gone for touch. They've got to get down there. They're probably going to get that a quick tap around about the 17-metre line. With about 20 seconds to go, what can happen? Here we go. Nail-biting finish. What we wanted to see here at Bar TV. Just goes to show. Here we go. He's blown another penalty. I tell you what, that was almost a professional foul there. But I'm not going to say for him to send him off at this time of the game.
Only one play left.
That's right. Here we go. The hooter's gone. So this is the last play, and he's been absolutely monstered in that tackle. And it is a come-from-behind win for Southport to take round one clash. There's a lot of tired bodies out there for Currumbin. That's a devastating result for them. They led for most of that game. They weren't first to score, but they looked like they were in control at the end of that second half, and certainly looked like they were in control at the start of the second half. And we usually say it's a game of two halves, but I'd say this was a game of four quarters.
Yeah, very much so.
Currumbin to start. Southport to finish. But it's how you finish is most important. And well done to the referees and these touchies. They had a very, very good game. Well done to all involved, actually, in this game. It was a really exciting game, even with the amount of rain that we had. Look, you get your fair share of drop balls, of course, but no.
The ball movement was pretty good.
Absolutely.
For most of the game. So I think it's a good start for both teams to build on for the season.
You know what? It's a great thing for Gold Coast Rugby League because, look, an exciting game like that. I don't have any score updates on me at the moment. If I hit refresh, I'm having some internet problems here with the weather. But no doubt for all those people, A grade will be released this evening. So for all those fans and followers of Rugby League Gold Coast, make sure you jump onto Bar TV Sports or the Rugby League Gold Coast Facebook pages. That's the easiest way to watch. Just jump onto Facebook. You can go to YouTube as well, Bar TV Sports on YouTube. All of the A grades are there, free and exclusive to watch. Of course, we give our match of the round priority, and that's live as we speak. But within the next hour or so, you'll see the rest of the other games. I think it was Tugan versus Burleigh.
And Runaway Bay versus Ormo.
Versus Ormo, who had their reserve grade up there as well. And, of course, Bar TV, we're letting everybody know. We know that your lower grades weren't available for your fans and followers to watch, but this year we're going to give everybody the opportunity to watch the lower grades. You just need to sign up to Facebook on a monthly fee. I think it's around about $7.50 for those fans who want to watch their lower grade games. But, look, Bar TV Sports will be letting everybody know what's happening. We're very much into the early part of the season, so as the season goes through, we'll be adding more and more exclusive offers to the fans and followers. But at this stage, the game finished 22 points to Southport Tigers, 18 points to the Currumbin Eagles. I was joined in commentary with Scott. So, Scott, thanks for being with us.
No,
cheers, mate.
Problem, mate.
Really appreciate it. The fans love hearing what the administrators have got to say, so no doubt we'll try and encourage you to jump back on the microphone throughout the year just to let us know what's going on, certainly with the rep programs. certainly letting us know of what's new to come. And as we approach finals, we might even get you to come in and let us know how everything's gone throughout the year.
No, not a problem at all.
But to all those people back home in New South Wales or around the country and also internationally who are watching Match of the Round here on Bar TV Sports, I'm Brendan McCormick from Bar TV. Thanks to Tim on the camera, and we will see you all next week. Not quite sure what the Match of the Round is at this point, but we'll let you know throughout the week. And make sure you watch Bar TV on Facebook or Rugby League Gold Coast to watch all of the other A-grade games throughout today. And we'll bid you farewell and see you all next week. Bye-bye for now.